good day. Welcome to our online learning. Today we are going to be discussing coding. But before we go into our today's topic, I want us to do the correction of our last assignments, the quizzes. So before we go into coding, let's just quickly do that assignment. Let's do the correction of the assignment. Okay. So we have it here. Question 1 says the image above represent what? The answer is paint. You can see it there, the green color means that's the correct answer. Number 2 says the paint application is used to draw and dash. The answer is color. It's used to draw and color object. Number 3 says the following are examples of paint package tools except the answer there is tools. Tools is not an example of pick tool is not an example of a tool in paint application. Number 4 says the dash is used to fill objects and shape with color. The answer is paint bucket. That is the answer. Number 5 says the magnifier in paint is used to dash in and out on our drawings. The answer is zoom. Zoom in and out on our drawing. Number 6 says to launch paint application you must locate you must locate the dash button. The answer is start button or window key. You press your start button or window key to launch the paint application. Question 7 says the circled part in the image above is a dash tool in paint application. That is the shape tool. That's the shape tool in the paint application. Question 8 says the paint package is used to draw and color the following except. The answer is there, the light pen. You can use it to draw. You can use paint to draw the following image except the light pen there that you can see. That is a picture. Alright, the number 9 says the dash is used to pick color in an area of our work and paste same color in another area. The answer is color picker. That's the answer. Now for number 10, the final answer and the final question says select the eraser tool from the tools below. The eraser tool is the first option there, as you can all see. That is the correct answer. So that's the correction of our quizzes. Let's go straight into today's topic. Alright, so like I said, today we'll be talking about coding. So our Bible verse today is going to be taken from the book of Jeremiah chapter 10 verse 16, which says, for he is the maker of all things. Now our learning objective for today is we'll be able to learn how to launch the Scratch application. We'll design simple animation in Scratch. We'll insert backdrops, sprite, and use a few blocks for examples. For example, move, control, and the event block. Now, last week we were told to download the Scratch application on our laptop to be able to participate in this class effectively. I hope we've been able to do that. I hope we've done that so that today's class, once I'm done explaining, you can use your laptop to practice what I'm going to explain in today's class. So please, if you've not downloaded the Scratch application, I want you to pause this video and just do that quickly before you continue. Alright, now how do you launch the Scratch application? Just like you launch every other software. The first step is to press the Windows button on your keyboard or locate and left click the start button at the bottom left of your screen. I believe you all know where your start is. So once you left click on your start, on the search bar there you just type Scratch. Once you type Scratch, step 2 says the Scratch application will show in the pop-up box. Select the Scratch desktop or Scratch. Now if you are using other Scratch application, that is below 3.10, it will just show Scratch. But if you have Scratch desktop installed on your computer, you have it there written Scratch desktop, just like this. So once you type Scratch on your search bar, you will see it written. You will see that this application will pop up, as you can all see here, Scratch desktop. So once you select it, once you left click on it, the Scratch application will open. So this is how the Scratch application looks like. When you launch the Scratch application, this is exactly the way the Scratch application looks. Now in the Scratch application, there are different things. This is the Scratch environment. There are different things on the Scratch environment which I will talk about few of them today. Then next week we'll go deep into it. Now the first thing I want to discuss today is the blocks. There are different categories of blocks, which include, we have move, we have looks, we have sound, we have events, we have control, we have sensing, and so on. Now these blocks are used to give instruction and write the actual codes. Now these are the blocks that we use to write our codes when we are working with the Scratch application. If you want your Scratch to move, you get the code in the move block. If you want to change how your sprite looks, you go to looks there to get your code. If you want to add sound to your character or your sprite, you go to sound. Now event here, whenever you are writing your code in Scratch, event is what starts your code. Event is what runs your code. You know, the idea of us using the Scratch application is for us to create animations and game, and these things, they work by themselves. Like the cartoons you watch at home, you see that when you are watching those cartoons, the character move by themselves. They are able to move like that because they have been programmed that way. Codes were written so that those characters can perform those actions. So that is what we are going to be doing with all these blocks here. In our next class, we are going to do more of practicals in our next class. But basically, when you want to write codes, you get the codes in the blocks here. You get your codes in the blocks, and each blocks here carry different and have different functions. I was talking about the event. The event, that is what you use to start your code. Now let's say, for instance, this sprite on the stage here, the stage here, that is where the sprite is. The stage, that is where the sprite is. That is where the action takes place. After you've written your code in your work area, now the work area, you are expected to drag and drop the block in your work area. So once you drag and drop your block, the action takes place on the stage, and that is where you have your sprite there. All your characters in Scratch, they are referred to as sprites. Instead of calling them characters, you can also call them sprites. So after you write your code on your stage, the code is being executed on the stage. Now that is for the blocks. So the blocks, basically, that's where we get our codes from. Now let's go to the next thing. I just explained this now. The stage display everything you do in your work area. To change, now if you want to change your stage, if you want to change your stage, how can you change your stage? Let me show you how to do that. Now this part here, once you left click on this icon here, yes, that's icon, once you left click on it, it's going to take you to your backstage library. That is where you are going to have a different stage. We have a lot of stage in the Scratch application. Depending on the type of animation or game you want to create, you can change your stage, and also you can add new sprite or new characters to your stage. Now this is where you go to add sprite, to add a character to your stage. You click on sprite there. So once you do that, it's going to take you to your sprite library also. Then you can now select any sprite or any character that you want. So basically the sprites here, we have so many sprites in Scratch, just like we have a lot of characters in our animation. Also in the Scratch application, we have sprites. Now these sprites are the characters that we write code to be able to control. In our next class, we are going to be going deep into practicals. I'm going to be showing you how to work on the Scratch application. So based on all what I've explained, what I want you to do at home for me is that I want you to go to your backdrop where I showed you. This is your backdrop here. This is your backdrop here. Come in. This is your backdrop here. Yes, that's icon there. So once you select your backdrop, I want you to select the underwater backdrop. Then after that, you go to your sprite and select one. You select diver 1 and diver 2. That means what you are going to be doing in your assignment is very simple. All you just need to do is go to your backdrop, your stage, select underwater, then you go to your sprite, then you select 2 sprites. The first one is diver 1 and the second one is diver 2. After that, you go and save your project. How do you save your project? You go to file, and file is up here. So basically, that is what I want you to do. I hope you enjoyed our class today. We are going to continue from here next week. I want you to take care of yourself and have a wonderful day. Bye bye.